So was this debate settled,
Yeah.
Agatha?
Nah, unfortunately,
So
he's still gonna
you
believe in evolution.
wait. So you're still going to hell, right, Socrates?
Yes, yes. So this gentleman, unfortunately, because because of religious reasons, not
Religious
any
reasons,
yes, of course, he rejects a
scientific. I'll give you a scientific
He
reason.
he thinks I purely reject evolution just on the basis of my religious
This is
convictions.
clear, very
No.
clear. This is clear.
I want to ask you. Do you think you're a good person?
Yes.
On what basis do you think you're a good person?
On the basis of moral reasoning and moral conscience.
What is moral reasoning? How do you reason with morals?
Moral philosophy.
Do morals have intellect?
Moral
philosophy? Who grounds that moral philosophy?
You don't need to ground. Morality is related to suffering and well-being. Okay.
Morality. It's suffering and well-being. Some people like suffering. What about that?
Yes.
Some people are masochists.
Yes.
So how would you justify it to them? And their claim will be just as valid as yours.
Okay. Well-being is objective relate. Okay. So let me respond. Well-being is objective relating to the human condition in this world. Okay, so what if now, let me make you a question. What if now God changed his mind tomorrow and said that...
He doesn't change his mind. That's a bad paradigm.
Therefore you admit... Why he doesn't change his mind then?
He can never change his mind.
Okay.
He can never change his mind.
Okay, so he cannot... Okay, so wait just a moment. So God cannot disagree with your moral conscience and moral reasoning. Is that right?
He gives us the moral conscience and moral reasoning.
You just proven that morality is based on moral conscience and moral reasoning and not what... The mere fact
I said
that
we get morality from God.
Okay.
And you said that God cannot disagree. I said, yeah, God is omniscient. He gives perfect things. He doesn't disagree with himself later.
Okay. So you agree that there is a standard higher than God that defines what's perfect?
No.
So how God gives perfect things?
What's holy straw man? Holy straw man. What? No, I never said that.
Okay.
I mean, God be my witness. Agatha, did I say that? Did those words leave my mouth?
You implied that. Okay, so let me tell you why you imply that. How you know, let's say abusing children for the fun of it. How you know that if God, you know that if God said...
You would seem like that's not really a problem though, right?
It will be a problem if morality is related...
Intrinsically? Intrinsically?
Yes. Because morality is...
What's the basis? What's the basis of that to say that it's an intrinsic evil?
The basis is that if true morality is virtue ethic or consequentialism...
Here we go to hypotheticals.
Okay, so you need to let me respond. Okay, so if true morality is as I describe it, morality is relating to reducing unnecessary suffering and promoting well-being, then abusing children reduces...
That's ambiguous,
reduces
though.
Well, it's not ambiguous. It's very...
I don't want to... It's not, though, because I don't know what you mean when you say unnecessary suffering. Yeah. What's entailed in suffering being necessary and conscious being unnecessary? What's the contrast?
There is sometimes we need to suffer in order for something. If you go to a doctor...
Who's the arbiter of that?
There is no arbiter. This is the definition of morality. You don't. It doesn't need to be arbitrary.
So you can't distinguish between necessary and unnecessary when you make that distinction. Then
yes, it's related to. Do you think suffering is quantifiable or it's an opinion?
Do I think it's quantifiable or that it's an opinion?
Is suffering quantifiable? Is something real or it's an opinion?
Are you defining suffering as a deprivation of an essential good?
So if you drink now battery acid, you will harm.
I just gave you a definition. I'm asking you if that's what you mean, and you can't just give me a simple yes or no.
Okay, give me again.
When you say suffering, do you mean a deprivation of an essential good? That's what you mean, right?
The deprivation of an essential good. Yes, if you harm yourself if you suffer, the kind of the feeling of suffering, the state of suffering, either physical or psychological suffering.
But you see, if you agree with that, that's the definition of suffering, namely the deprivation of an essential good, then there's no capacity in which it could ever be necessary, because if good is something intrinsically to be sought for, then it can never be necessary that you would have to be deprived of that.
I cannot understand this line of reasoning, but I'm asking you. Okay, so is suffering?
According to you, hold on, I'll explain. According to you, the ideal state of everything should be good, correct?
The ideal state of everything. Yes, it's good. Yes, the ideal state of
Right.
everything. Yes.
If that's the ideal and that's how things should be, then suffering is never necessary. It's always unnecessary if that is itself the ideal, existentially
So
speaking.
what I mean by necessary suffering, reducing unnecessary suffering and promoting well-being. So there is some kind of suffering that it leads to something good. Do you understand that? If you go to a doctor, you might suffer in order to become well. Okay,
so your argument is the typical the ends justify the means.
No.
Is that correct?
No.
How is that not it? If the means if the means itself leads to a deprivation of an essential good, as long as the outcome itself is of benefit, then it justifies the means in which you were able to seek that outcome. That's essentially what you are arguing, and now you're negating that that's what you're saying.
Yes, but that implies that you have a complete conscious state, that you know exactly the end product of your actions, which is impossible.
You don't have to know exactly. You don't have.
Okay.
You don't have to know it.
So
according to you, you don't have to have any moral certainty of the outcome, as long as that outcome is highly probabilistic, namely that it's to your benefit or to your own self pleasure or perseverance.
Well-being is more than
or preservation,
pleasure.
even.
Okay, so you try to make my position as trivial using only pleasure and suffering.
I didn't say that. I also said, hold on. I didn't just simplify it as pleasure. I also said pleasure or self-preservation.
Self-preservation. Okay, so just even self-preservation is trivializing my position. My position is mostly based on well-being, which is a concept that goes over the trivial.
What does that entail?
Well-being entail things that are philosophically deeper than just pleasure. Okay. It's difficult to
that
define.
That is an ambiguous answer. Well-being is just deeper than in the philosophical sphere than what we understand.
Let me give you an example. You can die.
How would you be able to seek well-being then? Okay, if you don't even understand what that well-being is insofar as the state of what men should be in.
Okay, so that's why we have moral philosophy. Philosophers struggle to define well-being for centuries. I have my definition, but whether we know exactly what is well-being, that doesn't negate the fact that the true definition of morality is related to well-being, and we can very easily prove that. Because
what if I say it's my well-being? Yeah. Hypothetically, let's say somebody says it's to their well-being to rape a child.
You are wrong. Then it's not in your well-being.
Why is that? Why is that wrong?
Statement. Because the definition of well-being is not that. Okay. What if God?
What do you mean? You just said philosophers struggle with this. Therefore, there's no objective definition of what constitutes one's own well-being.
Wait just a moment. Now you made a very good point. Now, according to my definition of well-being, I said that is wrong. Now, let's test now your theory. If God said that raping a child is good, would this have been immoral?
Let me go ahead and reject the premise of the question by simply saying that because rape is an intrinsic evil, God would. Hold on. I am answering. I'm answering by rejecting. I'm rejecting the premise of the question. Either you could rephrase the question.
Why?
Or I'm simply going to have to maintain my rejection because you said, if God committed rape, would it be okay? Because of the fact that that's a logical impossibility, since rape is an intrinsic and it is an intrinsic evil, God necessarily would never do so. Therefore, it's a logical impossibility. It's contrary to the essential goodness of God, which we have concluded because of the very fact that because good exists and necessarily flows forth from God, therefore anything that is contrary to that good is not of God, but of us. Therefore, God can never command that which is
now notice
to our detriment rather than to our benefit, which is to be like Him.
Notice how truth fits perfectly with what we see in reality, and how now he need to make mental gymnastics for his
It's not mental
position
gymnastics. If
to
if
fit.
I ask you
Okay.
a similar question,
Yes.
you
Ask
you would
me.
have a problem with it.
Ask me a similar question.
Okay, because of okay, simple. If you would agree that there's ambiguity in what is definitionally considered as the capacity to seek one's own well-being, why could raping a child not be entailed in well-being? Well, you couldn't negate that that would constitute a form of well-being.
Because although we don't know for certainty what is exactly, we know more or less.
Can you
what
exclude
is-
rape from that? Can you
Yes.
exclude raping a child from constituting one's own well-being?
Yes, we can exclude rape.
According to what? According to what?
Because well-being, first of all, well-being is a relative thing. So you need to tell me what are the conditions.
So the
we can-
rapist thinks it's to his. So hold on. If it's relative, then the rapist can just say that. Well, according to his perspective, it suits his well-being. Therefore, it's
Okay,
justified.
well-being comes from the human condition in this world. There is some things that are objective according to well-being, but is relative to the circumstance. For example, someone might make the extreme example that what if you were in an impossible condition, let's say in a Saw movie. Have you seen the
I have.
horror movie Saw? What if this monster
Yes, I have.
take you to a room and says that if you don't rape this child, 1 million, I will detonate this nuclear bomb there. Okay, then in this case, if you do this action,
You just mean the trolley problem.
okay,
The
exactly.
trolley problem.
Okay,
Either I kill
So-
one person versus a million.
okay, so
Do you know what the simple answer would be?
What?
It's never justified to murder anyone.
you
So
are
you
wrong.
cannot.
Okay,
Even
so
to,
now you are
even to
proving
the even to
fake-
the supposed benefit of others, namely other
You
people
just
living.
lost the debate.
You were not you
You just
not
lost
at
the
all.
debate. Okay,
according
so-
to you, it would be justified to murder somebody.
You just
So
lost,
then,
brother.
according to you, murder
You lost.
murder's not an intrinsic evil. Then, according to you,
Okay, so let me
That
explain
just shows
now
how
how
wicked
this
you are.
gentleman lost the debate. Okay, so we have two definitions of morality. Mine and this good.
according to
gentleman.
you,
Okay,
the ends
okay,
justify the
Do you
means.
grant that?
Listen, okay. So what we did now, in order to find out whose morality is true, we compared with
Socrates,
real
according to
example
you,
of
it's
this world.
justified to murder circumstantially.
Okay, so
Is that not your belief?
It's justified to murder circumstantially. Yes.
So the ends justify the means. So if I rape your mother
No.
to prevent something from happening, then
Okay,
that means that you could literally
let's
rape? No, that's evil.
Okay.
To say something
No,
like that
no, it's not.
just shows
Okay,
how
so look,
evil you
guys,
are. You think that it could be justified for me to rape your mother or for you to
Okay.
rape someone else?
Okay,
No,
so-
it's never
okay.
okay because rape is evil.
Exactly. And okay, so now his theory says that rape in all circumstances is immoral. Now let's test reality whether
Yeah, that
this
means
claim is
I'm
true.
morally consistent.
Okay, wait, don't interrupt me. Okay, so he just admitted that according to his moral theory, rape is immoral in all circumstances. Now let me give you an
Do you agree?
example. No,
Oh, do you agree?
no, I don't agree.
No. So there are
Okay.
certain circumstances in which you could rape a person and it's justified.
Yes, and now let me give you the example.
And you
Okay.
can't audit. And to clarify
Okay.
further, and you don't have the right to limit those circumstances in
Okay.
which rape can be
No,
justified.
no, that's another claim. Let me now prove
No,
this
no, no.
claim.
It's a yes or no.
Okay.
Can you yourself be granted the authority to limit those circumstances in which rape can
That's
be justified?
another question. I
No,
don't know
because
why you even asked
you're
that.
not a moral arbiter.
No,
Because according to you, if rape is okay in one circumstance, it can be
Okay.
okay in any circumstance.
okay, so now I ask the other
It's the-
people
it's the
who,
slippery
who,
slope.
who care about the truth. Okay, and I ask you, now when you have his claim that rape is in all circumstances immoral, now let me give you a circumstance where rape is not immoral. What if the monster from the Saw movie, this serial killer, take you in a room and he puts you and he says, here I have a nuclear bomb that
He
will
rapes
kill
you.
that will kill 2 million people. Here is a child. If you don't do this act to the child, 2 million people will die. And you at this
So you're saying
at
it's
this
necessary to rape a child.
Listen, at this moment, you choose to do this
That's an
action
evil person.
to avoid 2 million people dead. Are you in this case immoral?
Would
Please
you be
answer
at
this question.
fault? Would you be at fault if the 2 million people died? Because you didn't kill them.
Look now. Okay, in his morality,
You see, he can't answer it.
He
He
will
can't answer it.
sacrifice 2 million
Are
people.
you yourself culpable? Hold on, can you answer my question? Are you
You lost.
culpable for killing those 2 million people?
Yes, in a sense, in a secondary sense.
How? You're not. Well, in a sense, you're not the one pulling the gun. You're not the one setting off the bomb. So no, you're not culpable.
What you would have done? You would have killed 2 million people. In other words.
What do you mean? I wouldn't be killing anyone. I would simply be not
Yes,
raping
but in
a child.
practice,
That's
you
what I
would
be
have
doing.
killed. Okay, in practice,
I
your
wouldn't
actions.
Anybody, because that's not
it-
how culpability works. I can't be culpable for an act I didn't commit.
Yes, but in practice, your actions led to 2 million people dying. Is that true?
No, it didn't. The
No, it
actions
didn't.
of the person who killed them led to 2 million people dying.
Yes, but in this circumstance, what you would have done?
What do you mean? According to your morality, since we don't have the moral certainty, let alone any certainty, what would grant you the certainty that after you rape that child, he wouldn't kill the 2 million people?
Okay, so because morality.
Right, you wouldn't have any certainty. So according to your logic, if he simply gave the option, rape the child or the 2 million people die, and you went along and you raped the child, and he still killed the 2 million people, now you'd be a child rapist and 2 million people die.
No,
That's what
because
you would.
morality is relating to the intent. That's why. So my intention was.
Okay,
good.
what's your intention? Is your intention to rape
What
a child?
is your intention?
It is, right?
Your intention. So look how you would have been immoral.
My intention, I'll tell you what my intention is. My intention is not to rape a child.
To please God and not to save people. Therefore, you are immoral.
That's my intention.
Your immoral is to
What do
please
you
your
mean?
dogma and not save people. That makes you immoral.
Saving them is out of my control.
No, it's
Because I have no certainty, as you agree, I have no certainty that they would be killed otherwise.
You have probability. No, you don't need certainty.
It's a very low fucking probability. If you've ever
Very
seen the Saw
high.
movies, it's very low.
Okay.
No, it's very low.
Okay, let's make it
This
very
guy,
high.
you think it's that somebody who is morally depraved to tell you to rape a child wouldn't just kill 2 million people? You
Dude.
think that somebody who's morally depraved like that, it's a higher probability he would actually let those people go? No, it's not.
Okay, so let me now advance the mental experiment to cover what you say, so that won't be a problem. Let's say you already knew that this is a maniac serial killer. You already witnessed him doing that 10 times, and you are relatively certain that this person
I don't need to
is
do that.
capable and able to do this action. Now, according to your moral theory, this person now would, just to please his dogma, he would have sacrificed 2 million people. That makes you immoral, and that proves your moral theory wrong and my moral theory
It doesn't
right.
prove me immoral at all.
Okay.
Because morality pertains to culpability for actions that you personally commit, not for what others commit that are out of your control. And if you're going to say it's in your control, then you're delusional because is merely the possibility that after you rape the child, the individual who told you to do that in the first place would save those people. No obligation to refuse to commit any evil whatsoever.
Okay.
That's a moral person. A moral person would never choose to do the evil. But according to you, a moral person always chooses to do the evil if he thinks that there could be a supposed greater outcome.
Okay, so yes, morality is related to well-being. That is what this rule proves.
No, it's not. It's literally just you peddling utilitarianism, which is absurd,
No, it's not
stupid,
utilitarianism,
and inconsistent.
No.
It is literally utilitarianism.
No,
It's
because
100% what it is.
Okay, so let me tell you why it's not utilitarianism. Because I include the word well-being. That's why.
Wait. How do you know it's to their well-being that they don't die when that's a biological byproduct of the fact that they're alive?
So you do the best with the information you have.
Hold on.
This is morality.
Can you answer the question? According to you, why is that better that they live when it's nevertheless a necessary biological byproduct that they're going to die someday because of the fact that they're alive? Everyone's going to die. What makes it better that they die later rather than now?
Okay.
What makes that?
Okay, so listen, this kind of theories makes you Hitler, in other words. So
Nothing.
your moral
Nothing
theory
makes that
just
better.
made you Hitler.
It's going to be the same exact outcome.
Look, guys, look how perfectly my morality fits to everything, and you are a moral person. You did the best with what you could, and he is starting to sound like Hitler. If everybody will die, therefore why not kill 2 million people? So,
By the way,
unlike
number one,
you with your
that's-
corrupted
that's
morality that you
completely
are
disanalogous.
sounding like Hitler, I in fact have the true morality. Okay.
Well,
Debate over.
Hitler never sounded like that.
Yeah.
That's false Jewish propaganda. But secondly, of course, you would believe that because you're an idiot, just like you believe in evolution, another byproduct of Jewish propaganda. So
Jewish
absurd your
so
argument
you are
Your
just proven
argument-
that you are an
Yes, it's Jewish
anti-Semite.
propaganda.
You are an
I am a
anti-Semite.
Semite. What do you mean anti-Semite?
Okay.
I have Semitic blood in me. What do you mean anti-Semite?
Let me tell
You
you
mean
what
I'm
I mean.
anti-Jew? That's what you mean. I don't like the false religion of Judaism. Yeah, it's an evil false religion.
No,
You would think that you don't like it either because they claim to believe in God, something that you reject outright.
no. You have prejudice against
No.
the Jewish people.
I have prejudice against liars.
Mm. So
Don't
why
you?
you said that evolution is a Jewish conspiracy?
I said it's a form of Jewish propaganda, and that's a fact.
Bullshit. So you are an anti-Semite. How you came to this conclusion? Anyway, sir, you are anti-Semite. There is no many are in those days are many.
Look at the trigger words anti-Semite. Okay, well, I could just say anything about you. You're an anti-intellectual.
Yes, but okay. So
Yes, I'm glad we conceded on that point. You're an anti-intellectual. So what's the benefit in discussing with?
okay. So
I'm curious.
what did
If you're
I say that you
anti-intellectual.
concluded that I am an anti-intellectual?
That you said that rape, even though you admitted earlier that you should avoid anything that is against one's own against the well-being of another, you believe that action should not be committed, but it actually should be committed circumstantially. So you're not consistent. Either it should not be done or it should be done.
Exactly. No.
Well, you admitted prior that it should never be done, meaning that you should never engage in any act that is harmful to another's well-being and that causes unnecessary suffering. Well, is it necessary that you had to rape that child? If you're going to say circumstantially it's necessary, what makes it necessary besides the assumption that an
because
outcome is
2
going to take
billion
place?
people
Because
will
you'd
die.
agree.
That makes it necessary. 2 million
Okay,
people.
let
will
me
die.
ask you: Are 2 million? Are those same 2 million people eventually going to die anyways?
Yes. So.
Okay, so according to you, they're on equal grounding. Whether they died now or later, it wouldn't change the outcome of their life, correct?
Yes.
Would
I
it
will
change
say
the outcome about whether or not you raped that child, namely
What are you talking about? I don't know.
outcome as a result of you not raping versus raping?
Yes, because
Would the impact that you have on the child change if you did not rape the child versus when you did rape the child? It
Yes.
would, right?
yes, and
The outcome would be different, but the outcome of those people dying would not change because it's a biological byproduct that at some point they're all going to die anyways,
at some point,
right?
So this guy said that
Right.
life and non-life.
So
is
there's
the same
no
thing.
distinction in outcome. So the ends do not justify the means because the ends are going to be virtually the exact same, just simply at a different time.
Dude, do you seriously say that if I now go and murder someone, it doesn't matter
Whoa,
because
you're not- hold
one
it.
day he will
Don't-
die?
Don't switch it. You're not murdering
switching.
anyone.
You are murdering people.
You said that someone is murdering someone.
Yes.
But in order to prevent
Okay.
that murder from happening, you have to commit an evil.
Okay, so wait just a moment. If someone is, let's say, is stabbing someone else, and I go to prevent this action, I shouldn't have done that because the victim will
No,
die.
you should have done
anyway.
that because there's nothing evil
What? You don't dare even to
because
say that.
killing is not the same thing as the act of murder. To
So
kill in
it-
self-defense is not murder. So if I defend that person's life by attacking the murderer, then I did not commit any evil act to facilitate my defense of the individual.
So-
I would simply be attacking the perpetrator to defend a life.
So-
But according to you, let's switch it up. If in order to defend that person from being stabbed to death, I had to go ahead and rape a little boy before I went there, justified according to you.
No, because then the
No, you just said in order to prevent someone from dying, and if you didn't rape, meaning you have a moral obligation to rape, otherwise that person would die and you would be culpable for letting them die. That's what you said about the 2 million people.
yes,
So now
but
you're
in this
switching it,
case the
'cause you're
harm
dishonest.
is relevant. It's not okay. So
Whoa, hold on. Evil cannot be quantified.
you are just proving my theory.
It's not evil. You
Okay,
can't
so
quantify and say that there's a greater
now
evil
elevate.
or a greater
Okay,
extent
so
of
now
evil.
okay, so wait. Now elevate the harm. Okay, so what if by abusing a child you save 10 million people. Is that worth it or not?
It doesn't matter how many people.
It doesn't
The question is,
Okay.
no, it doesn't matter because evil cannot be quantified. Either the act is
okay, you are
evil,
wrong. So you,
and it's
according to your
evil
false,
regardless of the number,
okay,
or it's
so
not evil.
guys, look the absurdities that his moral theory leads to. Like 10 million people, if they die, it doesn't matter because evil
He
is not
got his.
quantifiable.
He got his. Wait,
So-
wait. He got his. Why is this chat full of atheists? There's
Yeah,
not a
guy-
single
you,
theist
you,
here.
you lost the
You-
moral.
you-
Well,
I see
well,
the
let me
infinite
let me
Aburkas.
correct you. Let me correct you. Let me correct you. It's not filled with just atheists. It's filled with people who would support child
The
molestation,
Quranic verse
rape,
9
murder,
colon
sodomy,
111 is the
and other
prophecy of
acts.
9/11.
Okay, so you
That's
lost
what
the
it would
moral
do.
argument.
It's
Where
just
you
the people
going to
filled-
go next?
No, I didn't lose the moral argument.
You just said that you will sacrifice 10
literally just
million
said-
people.
The
Oh my
difference.
God! So
the
many.
difference. No, I didn't say that. That's a lie.
You just said that. What is the difference? You said-
What you said is consistent. Your argument is that you're trying to distinguish simply on the amount of people who are killed, not the fact that the person is being killed. So it's not the quality of the act that you're concerned with; it's the quantity of people who are, which is utilitarianism.
Okay,
And you
so-
try to deny that, but that's a fact.
no, it's
Secondly,
not a fact. Okay,
it's
so
also
let's go
absurd
again.
because according to you, hold on. According to you, you believe that it's okay to rape someone in order to save 2 million people, but it's never okay to rape somebody in order to save even one person. So you're a murderer according to your definition because you would just let that person die.
Fair. Okay, so this is your example. Demonstrate my absurdity. Now let me demonstrate your absurdity.
I just demonstrated.
So according to you,
You
sir,
agree that
no,
hold on,
wait,
hold on,
wait,
a second. You
okay,
agree
so-
that that is
okay,
what you said.
Do you know? Do you know?
That you said.
Yes, I
hold on,
said that.
Hold on,
Okay.
I just want to clarify.
I
Do
said
you
that.
agree? So you agree then that according to your definition, maybe what you accused me of, you accused me of being a murderer.
Mm.
Definition, you're a murderer by letting even one person die.
Okay, so let me explain now. Okay, so according to the moral theory of this gentleman, okay, he says that if I have the choice to kill one person or 10 million people, I could not possibly make the right choice because murder is murder no matter the amount. That is wrong morally.
That's right.
That is okay. You are wrong
No, it's
morally
not.
because you follow a wrong moral theory. So the next.
What's the
question.
asymmetry? Hold on, what's the asymmetry? Because you're saying that it's wrong, but you can't actually
Okay,
rebut it.
let's ask the people here. Let's ask the.
Ooh, let's
religious-
not do
You're
Let's
running
let's
to your
not do an appeal
atheist
to the
buddies.
audience.
You're running to your
Let's
atheist buddies.
let's not do the appeal to audience fallacy. Don't appeal to the crowd. I'm asking you directly to produce a logical and coherent asymmetry against what I said. Because you said that I said
Okay, let me make.
I
Okay,
proved that demonstrably.
okay. Who is the worst serial killer? The one who he killed one person or the one who murdered 10?
My Lord.
I'm
Lord,
just-
have
You're, you're,
dichotomy.
you're determining the quality of the murderer based upon the quality of people that he killed. That proves nothing. They're both murderers, correct?
So
But they're
there is
both
no
equally
distinction.
evil.
There is no distinction between a murderer that.
There's no
killed 10
distinction
people.
in the charism of being a murderer. They're both murderers, correct?
Yes, but the one is worse. He killed more
But-
people.
No, there's nothing worse about. Worse is simply the outcome, namely the amount of people that died. But that's not worse insofar as the murderer is concerned. That's worse insofar as the victims are concerned. Mainly, more people died as a result of one hand than by another. That doesn't make the person any less evil. A
Okay,
murderer is
so-
a murderer. They're both
s-
equal.
So if you had the choice to save one person or 1 million people, you would have choose to save one person according to your moral theory.
If you're asking me if I had the decision to save 1 million versus 1,
No, yes.
well, I'm not understanding your argument. You're saying if I choose the 1, it would be equal to saving the 1 million?
No. According to your moral theory, you are being
not what I said.
advised. You are being advised by a moral theory. Let's say you had the chance to save one person or 1 million people. According to your theory, you could have chosen to save one person and let the 1 million people.
I would
to
say it's
die.
a false I would say it's a false dichotomy
No, it's
because I
not.
would say that
Why?
unless I wouldn't because I'll tell you because you're saying if you had the chance to save one person or 1 million, well, if it's not restrictive, then I would save 1,000,001 persons, meaning I would make an equal attempt to save all of them, even
Let's
if I
say you
couldn't save
couldn't
all.
make the unequal
Unlike,
attempt.
hold on, but unlike you, that's my position. My position is I would make an equal attempt to save both groups in question. But for you, you would say that it would be a waste of time and even detrimental to even make an attempt to save the
No, I
one
never said that.
if you might not be able to. And that just shows how immoral and disgusting of an individual you are.
Okay,
That you
so-
would make an equal attempt to save both. You would make it all. You would only make a independent and unique effort to only save the million to the exclusion of the one, for the potential that you might not save all 1,000,000.
The mere fact that you changed the rules of the game in order to win the game proves exactly.
I didn't change the. I didn't change the rules.
Okay.
I didn't change. I didn't change the rules of the game because, as you argued earlier, and I'm going to hit you on the head with this one. You said it's not merely the act, but the intention. Well, if I had the intention to save both, then that means that if I linked my intention with the act, namely, I made an active attempt to save the million and the one, then guess what? Unlike you, I made a moral.
Yes, that is
decision,
true. But now
and
you
it's
changed the
justifiable.
rules of the
But
game.
for
Okay,
you, but for you, you would never save the one if
I'm-
it would be to the detriment of even one of the
no,
million.
I never said
And that's
that.
how evil you
I
are.
never said that. You changed the mental experiment. So let me put back the rules of the mental experiment. Let's say you had a binary choice, not in the middle. Not you either. Let's say the rules were in an imaginary world. You either could save one, or you either could save 1,000,000. If you make the rules another way, I can agree with you. But let's say the mental experiment is in a specific way. You either can save one or can save 1,000,000. According to your theory, you could choose to save the one and sacrifice and leave the 1,000,000 to die. According to my theory, I will choose to save the 1,000,000. That means that my moral theory is better than yours. That's simple.
Not at all. I'll make it easy. I'll make it easy. Because I would say that the binary is unqualified. How does the one die versus the 1,000,000? Let's hear it. What are their cause of death? The 1,000,000 die from what exactly?
It is irrelevant. This goes beyond the.
No, it's perfectly relevant because it defines whether or not you were even saving, so to speak. Because you'd agree that the idea of saving somebody would be the idea that they have the potential to live despite the circumstance, right?
No, because now you are going.
No, that's not what's qualified as saving someone's life.
Dude, you are going
Yes, it is.
above the framework of the experiment. You are going above. You make
The experiment is ambiguous.
You are
In the experiment, do those 1,000,000 people have causes of death? And does the 1% have cause of death? Yes, of course they do. If it's a practical experiment, it would have to be designated as such,
okay.
right?
So let me go. You want to continue the moral argument, or because I have more evidence than your theory doesn't work.
I mean, you already conceded that it's okay to rape
No.
a little even a young boy if it means that you could save 1,000,000 or 2,000,000 people. You already conceded that.
in a binary circumstance. Yes.
So it's okay to do evil in order to do a good, according
Yes,
to you.
be-
The ends do justify the means.
It's not evil because my intent was to do good. It's not evil in this
Wait,
case.
wait, wait. So your argument is that the act is not evil because your intention was to do good? That's your argument.
The act itself, it depends on the relative.
So you don't believe there are acts that are intrinsically evil. That's how
Okay,
evil you are.
So no. wait just a moment. So the amount of harm to the well-being and to suffering to people, that is what defines whether the action is evil or not. Let me give you an example.
So hold on. So rape is, just to clarify, rape is not intrinsically evil, right? According to you.
Rape is evil because it implies that my intent is to give harm, and I don't give
That's
consent.
not my question. Is it intrinsically evil? Is it evil by the fact that the act takes place itself?
No, but the harm and in the well-being is evil.
To say
But the
no.
harm in the
There's no
well-being-
way you're going to be able to say that.
Yes, I told you it's related.
Wait a second.
Let me give you an example to
in the
prove that.
binary, hold on,
Hmm.
hold on. You're saying because you're harming the well-being. In the binary, are you not harming the well-being of the child? You are.
Yes, but I am
So it's
saving
evil
more.
no matter what you try to justify it as.
No. It's evil not by my action. It's evil from the perspective of the person who made this circumstance. So
No,
yes.
that's not. They didn't force you to rape the person, did they?
Look, let me explain. Everyone with a fair-minded person can understand that. Let's say the serial
I'm being
killer.
very fair-minded.
Okay.
I'm asking you, is it intrinsically evil to rape? The answer, according to you, would have to be no. It
No,
wouldn't be intrinsically evil.
the evil comes from the assault on the decipit in suffering and well-being. This is what makes it evil, not because God said so. This is what I'm trying to explain.
Does that hold on? Whoa, hold on. That's a complete red herring. Number one, I don't believe in divine command theory, so I don't believe that something is evil only because quote God says it is. I don't believe in divine command theory, so why strawman my position?
You believe in
I believe
classical
things
theism.
are. I do believe in classical theism, but I'm also a Roman Catholic, which means I automatically reject the idea of divine command theory. I believe in natural law theory. I'm a natural law theorist. Maybe you could read my roles
So
and you'll see that I'm a natural law theorist.
okay,
I
so
don't believe in divine command.
okay, so you believe morality flows from God's nature, something like that.
That's correct.
Okay, so let me explain
So
why
I don't
that's not
believe that something is either good or evil simply because God commands it.
okay. So you believe, so you accept that God in this scenario is not a moral agent.
I've already addressed that claim
Okay, so
three times.
okay, so okay, so let's first address the other claim, if I may, sir. Okay, you said that rape is intrinsically evil, not relating to suffering and
That's correct.
well-being. Okay, let me prove you now that that's not the case. What if, in an imaginary crazy world that doesn't exist, let's say by doing this act, instead of inflicting suffering to the child and to the society, I did the complete opposite. This child became a scientist. He had the perfect life. All society was happy, and everybody, all society. I say I essentially saved the world. Is this act now evil?
Is what act evil? The act of rape. You're asking me if you raped a child and that child eventually, of their own efforts, became successful. Is that still evil? Yes.
No, and yes, because it's difficult to imagine this type of scenario. First of all,
Child by his own efforts and merits became successful. It means nothing.
okay.
Does it somehow negate the fact that you raped him? No.
No, let's say this. No. Just notice the deviance in the moral way to understand what I'm saying. Let's say this child was from iron, okay, and I tried to do this act, okay, but my intent was still bad, okay, but let's talk about what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to communicate that the less the suffering and the harm is to certain kind of things, the less immoral it is. All suffering is related to suffering, and all morality is related to suffering and well-being. And weirdly enough, your God's rules just happen to comply with suffering and well-being. Why is murder is worse than stealing in your theory, in God's command? Exactly because murder implies more suffering and more harm to well-being. And it just happened, God agrees. You don't see
That's not the argument.
What is the argument? Why rape is...
It's because of the fact that it's so simple. The reason why thievery versus that of murder, why murder is more detrimental, is because of the fact that it concerns more than mere possession. Because to steal is to simply repossess wealth that is properly belonging. Good. However, when it comes to the act of murder, you've deprived them not only of a mere temporal good that they could easily repossess if they so choose, but rather that you have now caused a permanent damage wherewith that individual cannot recover. Namely, that you have killed him. That's precisely why there's the law of equity in the law of God. That's why the law
Thank
of
you.
God says
Thank you.
an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Exactly.
So the equity is you just said that it depends upon the harm. You said that if there's greater harm, then there's greater punishment.
And you just
Man is intrinsically alive. Man is intrinsically alive by virtue of the fact that he undergoes animation. Well, if there's a cessation of that animation, then necessarily the individual cannot repossess that. Whereas when it comes to thief, they can take your wealth and you can get it back. Isn't that amazing?
I have some internet connection, although I kind of listen to what you
So
say.
it's not merely the greater suffering overall, because when you die, I mean, from your perspective, that individual no longer suffers. Whereas if a person got their wealth taken away and had to undergo poverty, don't you agree that their suffering would be prolonged as a result that they received an immense deprivation of a great extent of wealth? Would that cause greater and more prolonged suffering? I'm sure you would have to agree. It would.
Hmm. Anyway, sir, I'm sending you now a friend request because we have very good conversation, so we can debate. I really enjoy debating you because you are very intelligent and very good interlocutor. If you like, we can debate another day because I have internet problems. That's my problem now.
That's okay. That's fine.
Is this Frank? Is this Frank Gata?
Who?
Okay, so
Yeah, this guy in the server named Frank Gata. I'm asking if he changed his name. Talking to
no,
Socrates.
I'm not this guy.
No, he's always had the name Socrates, son.
Okay, I sent you a friend request, and because I have internet problems, so I cannot continue. It's interrupting. Okay, guys, see you
That's
later.
all right.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Why is this chat full of atheists? There's
Yeah,
not a
that-
single
you,
deist here.
you lost the
You-
moral.
you-
Well,
I see
well,
the
let me
infinite
correct you. Let me correct you.